Gas is flirting with $6 a gallon again. Headlines scream about supply crunches, and every self-proclaimed fuel guru on social media swears they've uncovered the silver bullet that'll keep your wallet fat. Problem is, most of that advice is as outdated as leaded gasoline. Tonight we're dissecting 8 myths that still drain drivers' bank accounts in 2025. If you've ever sprung for premium gas just in case, overinflated your tires for that mythical 2% bump, or coasted downhill in neutral because your uncle swears it saves cash, this is your intervention. By the end of the next few minutes, you'll know exactly which habits to drop, which numbers actually matter, and how to turn every mile into quiet money saved. Ready? Let's break some bad habits. But first, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for future uploads.
Fuel
Premium
brands or
fuel,
octane levels
champagne
could mess
taste,
up your
soda
engine. It
benefits.
sounds scary, like your
Picture
car
the
might
scene.
suddenly
You pull up to a
revolt
pump
just because you
plastered
filled
with
up
bold,
at a different
gold labels,
station. But here's the
premium,
truth.
ultimate,
Your engine doesn't
super.
care about brand
The message
loyalty.
is clear.
It's not holding
Pour
a
in the
grudge
fancy
because
stuff
you
and
went
your
from
ride
Big Fuel
transforms
Co.
into a
to
track
Joe's
weapon,
Gas
right?
and Go. As long as you're
Influencer
using
clips
the
rack
right
up
fuel
millions of
grade for
views
your
promising
car,
faster
regular,
0 to
mid-grade, or
60s,
premium,
and
switching
squeaky-clean
brands
valves
is
if you
totally
spring for the
fine. The
high-octane
key
brew.
is sticking to
Reality
what your
check.
manufacturer
Unless your owner's
recommends.
manual
Using
literally
regular when
says
your car
premium
needs premium,
required,
bad
that extra
idea.
cash
But
might
switching
as well be
between
doused on
Shell,
the pavement.
Exxon, or BP, no big
Octane
deal.
is
The
simply
takeaway?
knock
Don't
resistance
sweat brand
score.
hopping.
Nothing more
Follow your
exotic.
car's fuel
High
recommendations,
compression,
and your
turbocharged,
engine
or
will be just
aggressively
see.
timed
Tiny
engines
cars
need the
probably
cushion.
come to mind.
Family
Maybe you
sedans and
picture a
crossovers
small
don't.
fleet of hybrids
The
zipping
Environmental
around,
Protection
saving
Agency
gas
hammered
and the
the point home
planet.
in
But
late
here's the myth.
2024
We're way
tests
past the
spanning
days where
40
small
mainstream
equals
vehicles.
efficient. Thanks to
MPG
modern tech,
emissions
larger
and
vehicles are
acceleration
closing
were
the gap.
statistically
Hybrids and
identical
clean
on
diesel
regular
models
versus
mean
premium.
SUVs
The
and
only
full-size
consistent
vehicles
difference
can
was the
deliver
price
solid
tag.
fuel economy
Often 60
without
to 80
sacrificing
cents more
cargo
per gallon.
space. A
Run
well-built
the math
hybrid
over a typical
SUV can give you
15-gallon
close to
tank,
35
and you're
miles per
voluntarily
gallon,
tipping
and
oil
clean
companies
diesel
$10
trucks, they're
every
pushing
fill.
impressive
Multiply
efficiency
that by
while
weekly
hauling
commutes
serious
and you'll
weight.
drop north
So,
of
if you've been
500 a
avoiding
year
anything
for
bigger
zero
than a
gain.
compact car
Save
to
the
save
premium
on
for your
gas,
morning
you've been
espresso,
missing out.
not your
Today's
gas cap.
automakers have
Smooth
found that
transition?
sweet spot
Good,
between
because
fuel
the next
efficiency
legend turns
and
the transmission
functionality.
debate
It's not
on its
about what
head.
you drive.
2. Manual transmissions, the mileage king no more. Car culture loves a good nostalgia trip. 3 pedals, full control, and legendary fuel thrift, or so the story goes. That story was true in 1995 when automatics were sloppy 3-speed slush boxes. Fast forward, and today's torque converter units boast 8, 9, even 10 ratios, locking clutches, and microchip brains that outsmart the heaviest right foot. Dual clutch gearboxes fire shifts in 80 milliseconds, and continuously variable transmissions hold engines at optimal revs like a hyper-efficient treadmill. Take Toyota's GR86. Enthusiasts adore the manual, but the automatic quietly ekes out a 7% fuel economy edge on highway loops. Subaru's recent WRX tells the same tale. The CVT sips less despite lugging extra weight. Sure, a handful of econo boxes still give the manual a microscopic advantage. Think 1/10 of a liter per 100 kilometers. But that's a latte a month, not a life-changing windfall. Meanwhile, skipping the clutch pedal now adds advanced driver assist, remote start, and higher resale value. Bottom line, buy a manual for fun, not for fuel savings. Stick around because the next tip might literally blow up in your face. Chapter 3. Overinflated tires. Rolling resistance roulette. Someone on a forum insists that adding 5 extra PSI is free mileage. Technically, shrinking the contact patch lowers drag, but it also turns your tires into over-caffeinated balloons begging to burst. Insurance records from 2024 show a 20% spike in blowouts traced to chronic overinflation. Ride quality nosedives, ABS calibration skews, and traction on wet pavement drops faster than crypto after a bad tweet. Even if you dodge an accident, the center tread wears into a bald stripe long before the shoulders, erasing any fuel savings with a premature $800 tire bill. Real payoff? Hit the sweet spot printed on your driver door jamb. It's engineered for a balanced footprint, predictable handling, and yes, optimal fuel burn. Check monthly because every 1 PSI under spec can cost up to 0.2% in efficiency. Manage pressure, not miracles. Next myth smells scientific but vaporizes under scrutiny. 4. Early morning fill-ups, the cool gas con on TikTok. A slick animation shows liquid shrinking as it chills, implying dawn buyers score denser gasoline. Sounds clever until you remember that fuel lives in subterranean tanks 30 feet below the asphalt, where temperature swings maybe 1 degree across the entire day. Consumer Reports carted calibrated thermometers to half a dozen stations last summer. Nozzle temps averaged a rock-steady 62 degrees Fahrenheit from sunrise to sunset. Savings per 15-gallon fill? Roughly 2 pennies, less than your dash cam eats in standby current while you sleep. So kill the 5 a.m. alarm and keep those REM cycles. Your engine and your sanity will thank you. But if dawn rituals don't matter, what about that extra click at the pump? Glad you asked. 5. Topping off, paying for the station's fuel. We've all done it. Slid a few more cents in to hit a round number or to squeak home without another stop. Here's the dirty secret. Modern pumps use vapor recovery hoses that suck overflow back into the station's storage. Translation: part of what you pay never reaches your tank. Worse, the splashback can drown the charcoal canister designed to trap fumes, lighting your dashboard like a Christmas tree and triggering emissions failures that cost hundreds to fix. Environmental regulators doubled fines in 2025 for stations with ground spills, so topping off could even net you a hazmat cleanup fee if you're unlucky. When the nozzle clicks off, holster it. Your bank statement will applaud. Speaking of upcharges, let's puncture the green-tinted balloon of nitrogen inflation. 6. Nitrogen tires. Science fair smokescreen dealerships pitch nitrogen fills as Formula One tech for the street. Cooler temps, steadier pressure, longer tire life, and better MPG for only $40. True, nitrogen molecules are larger and leak marginally slower than oxygen, but modern radial tires already lose so little that you'll check tread depth long before you'd top off. And remember basic chemistry. Ambient air is already 78% nitrogen. Fleet trials on long-haul trucks showed tread temperature drops under brutal loads. Yet passenger car studies published in 2024 found no statistically significant fuel or wear advantage over properly maintained compressed air. Skip the upsell, buy a decent pressure gauge, and pocket the change. Feeling cooler? Not yet. You still have to pick between Windows and AC. 7. Windows down versus AC. Hot day, idling in traffic, sweat pooling. What's cheaper? Airflow or Freon? The debate has raged since vinyl seats were a thing, but physics finally gives us a split decision. At city speeds, the aerodynamic penalty of open windows is tiny. Turning off the compressor saves a measurable 10 to 15% in stop and go. Once you crest 50 miles per hour, the equation flips. Turbulent air rams your cabin like a parachute, while a cycling AC compressor saps far less power. Want a one-sentence rule? Crack the glass in town, seal up, and set the AC to the warmest, comfy notch on the highway. Pro move? Open doors or windows for 10 seconds before starting your drive to purge heat. Then hit recirculate. Your system cools faster and cycles off sooner. Ready for the myth that's equal parts cost and catastrophe? Time to shift our focus to transmissions. Literally. 8. Neutral coasting, the hidden gas guzzler. Grandpa swears by sliding into neutral on downhill stretches. He's also rocking cassette tapes. Fuel injection turns his wisdom obsolete. Modern engines cut fuel entirely during in-gear decel. Slide into neutral and you force idle fueling. About half a gallon an hour, according to a 2025 Bosch powertrain white paper. Worse, you sacrifice acceleration if a deer leaps out, and slamming back into drive at speed can shear clutch packs. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration calls neutral coasting a, quote, loss of power maneuver, end quote. And 11 states now ticket it under vehicle control statutes. Leave the shifter alone and let gravity partner with technology. Your fuel gauge and transmission will both live longer. Strip away the folklore, and fuel economy isn't black magic. It's a math problem with real-world payoffs. Ditching premium when you don't need it, inflating tires to the exact spec instead of to the moon, and abandoning top-off habits together can save the average driver more than $400 a year. That's an extra car payment, a weekend getaway, or a handful of stock shares compounding quietly in your portfolio. My challenge? Apply just 3 of these fixes on your very next fill-up and watch how fast your monthly fuel line drops.